Hey guys, Merry Christmas! This will probably be my last video for the year and it's quite an exciting one. Doing it slightly differently this time because I lost the first video that I made on my brew day, which was the intro. So welcome to the neck oil clone that I'm doing. It was a clone recipe provided by Clive Cutter. And brew day was pretty straightforward. I've got some brew day footage that I can show you. But the basics are that I ended up at 10:46 and finished at 10:07. I changed the grain bill ever so slightly, but really slightly. You'll see in the recipe which I'll put here. Yeah, lots of hops in there. Okay, so without further ado, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do all of the brew footage and then I'll come back to now and we'll have a little taste. Okay, so that's the 60-minute mash. It's about to beep. I'll pull it out, cold sparge quickly and put it on for the boil. So far so good. It's come through nice and clean. I'm not sure if the chocolate malt made it ever so slightly darker. In fact, I can show you. Bear in mind that this is before I sparge and before I liquor back. You can see the sort of colour. It's really nice and clear. It's a little bit darker, I would say, than the neck oil. I used the extra pale malt, which is why I used a little bit of chocolate. I think it was 50 grams of chocolate. But I do like the chocolate malt in the sort of Timothy Taylor, so I'm hoping to get just that little bit of maltiness in with the smash from the hops. So let's put it on to boil. Just take it out to the first set of legs. That should be enough because I've only got 25 litres in there. Minus the 6 odd litres I'll lose to grain absorption. I'm going to use about 2.5-3 litres of the Tesco water to cold sparge, and then we're going to, it's already heading up for the boil now, so then we'll hopefully get to the first hop drop reasonably soon. Okay, so that is the cold sparge done. I've still got the 12 odd litres of water left in the Tesco bottles. Bringing it up to the boil now. I'm looking at about 21-22 litres in there. So plus the 12, 33, minus the boil off. Yeah, it should be close enough to 30, so maybe 29 in the fermenter with the wastage from the hops. There's quite a lot of hops in here. I'm going to use the bag. One of the things people tend to find issue with hop utilization when using a hop spider or a bag or something like that. What I find is if you use a full-sized bag for brewing a bag, like a mash bag, you can put that in your kettle, so it actually the wort boils inside the bag as well. So it literally sits inside the whole kettle. You should get perfect utilization with that. It's just a way of, when you pull it out, it's just getting all the hops out. So that's my way of doing it, and I don't normally fall too far short. What I am also doing today is I'm aiming slightly higher on the IBUs because for some reason I find the utilization when I'm doing a smaller boil with liquoring back, it seems to drop the bitterness down further than the recipe says it would be. So I think it's something to do with the hop utilization in a smaller boil. Okay. So, I better get the first hop drop ready. Okay, so I've done a 60-minute hop drop. This is now the 10-minute hop drop with a Protofog tablet. 5-minute hop drop. Some leaf hop, some pellet. Okay, 5 minutes till flame out. Okay, so that was flame out. Flame out was more like about 10 minutes ago. Just been cleaning the fermenter and just giving the hops a little bit of time to soak like a steep, basically. Now I'm going to get the hop bag out and put the cold water in, give it a good vigorous stir, take the jacket off, the brew jacket, and then I'll just leave it, go into town for a while. I'll come back and do the transfer later. The fermenter's got sanitizer in it, so it's just having a nice soak. Smells delicious. Squeeze those oils out. Try not to be too vigorous with the pour because I don't want to get the hot side oxidation. I've had that for a couple of brews, it's been a struggle. Between that and chlorine in my water, I've had a couple of batches that I've had to force down rather than enjoy. So I'll just show you, I was aiming for 30 litres and there's the, I mean it's probably 30 and a little bit, but because it's still hot it'll probably shrink, the water itself will shrink a bit. That'll be 30 in there, maybe 29 and a half in the fermenter. I might film a bit of the transfer later, but there we go, there's the neck oil clone, nearly there. Hey guys, so it's all in the fermenter, ready to go. I'm just I've rehydrated the yeast. It's actually been rehydrating for probably an hour and a half, so too much, but I'm sure it won't complain. It's got all quite bubbly. I see if I can show you here what it looks like. So that is USO5, and that's going to go in the old in a little bit of the little open spot on the fermenter. Hopefully not too messy. And voila! And then for the bubbler, for the airlock, what I do is I just spray some Star San into the sort of top cap, not even halfway, and then because it's easier to use this to pour it in without getting it in the actual fermenter itself. Okay, so and here she is. That is there's still a little bit of trube and all that in there, but you can see the colour is quite pretty. Maybe I can do that without shining the light in your eyes. It's a nice colour. It's maybe ever so slightly darker than it needed to be, but I did put that 50 grams of chocolate malt in there. good bit of bitterness. Obviously it's sweet as can be now. I missed my target gravity. I ended up with 1036 or 1037. So I put 400 grams of sugar and half a kilo of light spray malt in a pot of water, boiled it for a few minutes, and chucked that in as well. So it's taken me a little bit longer to cool down the fermenter. But yeah. Hey guys, welcome back. So this is the beer. You can see I got quite a bit of head on that in the initial pour, because I've literally just force carved that now. Let's shine some light through that for you. It's not 100% clear yet, but it promises to be pretty clear as a beer. Yeah, for me I'd say it's a really nice colour actually. It's a great beer. It's carved up to I did 40 psi for 3 minutes shaking, so a little bit less than normal, but I think just when you've been shaking something for that long, you're going to get some foam. I literally put the keg straight in the keezer and poured. So it is still holding that head, because I've done the intro video and just had it sitting here the whole time. So let's go in for it. I mean, there's just a massive combination of hops in here. We've got Galaxy, Columbus, Mosaic, Vic Secret, Simcoe. They're all in there. And in the dry hop, it's Amarillo, Galaxy, and Mosaic. I've got on the recipe 60 grams of each, but I think when I spoke to Clive Cutter, he said go for 75, and that was, I ended up with 33 or so litres in the fermenter, so I filled 1.5 kegs basically out of that. The smell is just great. So it's what you, I mean, when you go to a pub and you order like a Mosaic IPA or something like that, it might be the Mosaic that's coming through the most on the nose. But it's a nice hoppy. It's not offensive. It's not too over the top hop wise, but it's just, it makes you want to take a sip. Now this is officially my first sip of this beer, because yeah, apart from trial jars and things. Actually that carbonation is just right. Oh, there's a little bit of sweetness at the end. Beautiful. I love that hop combo. Mr. Cutter, I'll definitely brew that again. So nice colour. It finished at 10:07, but it's got a nice body. It's not, I wouldn't say it's medium, probably medium to light bodied. Decent carbonation, but it's keg, so yeah. And it's neck oil. I mean, you know how hoppy neck oil is. It's a reasonably hoppy beer. And this, I'm going to try and do a separate video with the side by side. I'll go and get a can of neck oil from the shops. But my recommendation is brew this beer, guys. It is very tasty, and it's ready just in time for Christmas. Merry Christmas, guys, and I'll see you all in the new year.